Welcome to my designer class. My name is Mercy and I'm Independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. In today's class, I'm going to be showing you how I made this beautiful card using the Hey Love set and Life is Grand. So I normally do not buy stamp sets that are just like with sentiments, but I had to make an exception with this one, and I'm so glad I did. This is just gorgeous, these letters. So it has a lot of beautiful ones. Hello, dear friend, make a wish, life is grand with you, and then a few to go maybe inside. And enjoy your day, happy birthday, sending lots of love your way. So this is a wonderful set, and I'm also crazy about Hey Love. So many cute ones. Great for Valentine's Day, for young children or any adult, someone young at heart, this would be perfect as well. So to start off with, I will go ahead and do the sentiment. So I'm going to be using my Stamparatus, and it occurred to me that I haven't shown a lot of mounting this stamp for the Stamparatus. So I wanted to show a little bit about that. So I'm going to get out my stamp, and you can see I keep this outer cover here. And I have already one stamped here, and I did this earlier, but I kind of started off with using the Grapefruit Grove, and then I thought, no, I'm gonna add the red, but it kind of has, I didn't quite line it up, but it's actually pretty cool. I have to say, I might use that still. Anyhow, so you just, if you already have one, you know, stamped, and you figured out it's very easy, just keep like a scratch piece of paper and stamp it, and then it's easier to line up. Now the second thing is, because this is not a photopolymer, you can't do that 100%. So I just kind of look through here and see if I think it's kind of straight. And if I think it needs a little adjustment, I will just tweak it a little bit. So I think that's pretty good, because these grid marks here really help you line it up. So I will now remove this. And then the other little tip I wanted to share is about your ink, your pad. So with the Distinctive set, it's good to have a card on hand. I'm just also getting a piece of cardstock here. It appears that I didn't quite get everything ready for my sentiment stamping. Where did I put that? Oh, it's right in here. Okay, sorry about that. Anyway, so one of the things I was saying is sometimes they are too juicy, the stamp pads. So what you need to do, this is not my tip, I heard about this, is you slide your ink to the one side a little bit. So just, I like to slide it to the well. It's just then easier for me to keep in mind. So I'm just going to set that aside, and we will go ahead and stamp. Oh, and I do need to secure this in case we do need to do double stamping. It's always good to use your magnet. And I'm going to do it on, normally my default mode is to do it over from the top down, but when I'm doing a video, I really should do it this way so you can see exactly what I'm doing. So there it is. And I think I will go ahead and do one quick, like lightly tap it and add a little bit more color, because it does lighten in time, and because we're using the Stamparatus, why not? Wow, that's really bold and beautiful. So there is our sentiment. I will just now take the Stamparatus, set it aside, but first I'll just quickly clean it with my Simply Chamois. If you don't have a Simply Chamois, you definitely need to. They work great, and especially with the Stamparatus. So, okay, I'm gonna set the Stamparatus aside and go ahead and close up my ink pad, because if you've ever put your hand in red, it's not a happy thing. Let's just say that. Okay, so, oh, the other thing I wanted to show with the sentiment is I corner rounded it, and I went ahead and added the little flower doodad. Oh my goodness, I just see I smudged this because I didn't let it dry enough. Oh well. We shall make this work. Okay, so just line it up in the corner, straight down, and straight down. You can see I kind of smudged it. Oh well, life happens, right? And do that. So I think it's kind of cool to leave two corners untouched. I think it kind of adds a nice little effect. Okay, so that's for the, now we're done with the sentiment, but I will now start stamping for the little alligator thing, which is absolutely adorable. So bringing in my Memento ink and my alligator or crocodile. I don't know which one it is, but whatever it is, it's adorable. As I said, I'm kind of crazy about the set. I initially wasn't planning on getting it, but I did, and I'm so glad I did because it is simply adorable. So it needs a little time to dry. When you use the blends, it can kind of mess it up a little. So I like to let it dry for about 5 to 10 minutes before coloring. And I went ahead and colored one with the green part just so that it would save a little time. And this is a Stamp Right marker. They don't have this one, the Grapefruit Grove in the blends. So I go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and use the Stamp Right marker, and it doesn't take too much time. And when it's a tiny area like what I'm doing right now, you can't see the brush marks it's not quite as noticeable, but you have to definitely be more careful to get right up to the line because the ink doesn't spread a little bit. Like the blends, if you've used the alcohol-based blends, they kind of do a lot of work for you. So I really actually miss it when I don't, I'm not using it. So I'm going to go ahead and use the fine tip end for the blend to color in these hearts. And this will go pretty quickly because this again is the blend and it's the lovely lipstick. So I used a little bit of the foil paper in the lovely lipstick, and that's a celebration item. So if you order $50 or more, you get it for free. So I am so excited to get to use it, and I think it really added an amazing touch. Now, with my other one, I did add a little blue to his eyelids, but I actually forgot my pool party marker while I'm doing this, but you can just picture that. All right, so bringing in all the elements. I've already die cut this, and this is the 2 1/4 stitch circle from the Stitch Shapes dies, which would be the second largest. So all I want to do is just go ahead and adhere this, and oh, sorry about the racket. I'm just going to use some of my liquid glue because this is the fastest and way to adhere things, and it really stays in place. Like with the snails, sometimes things can kind of fall apart a little. Of course, it's permanent, so there's some disadvantages in that regard as well. But overall, I would say the pros outweigh the cons with liquid glue. I really do like using it. Now, I did emboss the paper, the lemon lime twist in dot to dot. In this embossing folder, it looks really cool, and I think it mimics like an alligator's bumpy skin. So very cool. I went ahead and adhered it to a lovely lipstick border here, and this is just kind of in between an 1/8 of an inch and a 1/16 of an inch, the border here. I wanted it slightly smaller. So here is our Grapefruit Grove card base. I will grab my bone folder, and I just like to line it up really well here and go ahead and press it really nicely here. So that always looks really nice, I think, when you use the score it and use the bone folder. Now I did cheat here a little, and I took out this, and then I added a little bit of just some scrap white cardstock to the center, just in case it would start to cave in, which I don't think it would, but I didn't want to take a chance. So I will be able to use that middle part for another project. I definitely like being a little bit frugal. We don't want to waste paper either. Okay, so here it is. I just love that combination. Stampin' Up! Really outdid themselves with that. And I will go ahead now stamp the inside of the card. And I like this little bird. It looks so cute. And I just use the lovely lipstick for stamping that. And we'll go ahead and do that. And I just put it in the corner here. And it just is a nice little touch to have, I think, to have a stamp or sentiment inside the card. I really like doing that. So the next thing I'm going to do is use a little bit of my tear and tape. And I do like using this over the glue in case I make a bad boo-boo while I'm writing in the card. I can quickly redo that inside card base as opposed to kind of ruining the whole card or living with regret. It's just one of my things because I'm a little bit dyslexic, I think. So having a backup plan for any goofing up is kind of a nice option. All right, so here we go. Isn't that adorable? And I will go ahead and add some dimensionals because, of course, I love dimensionals. They just add a really great touch. So about 3 will do it for this. I like popping stuff up. If you haven't popped up stuff, you are really missing out. It's like the standard card maker's trick. Okay, so we're just going to put them here. And I will go ahead make a new one for this because that smudge bothers me, but I will just lay it here so you can see. I think it's just a gorgeous card. If you enjoyed watching this tutorial, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you do, tap the bell for notifications. Thank you so much for watching this, and I hope you have an amazing day. Happy stamping.